Hello everybody. Today I thought I would do a little video of my 2017 Honda Grom. I've done a few little odds and ends to it to kind of personalize it to myself, but what I can do is, first off, I'll tell you this is a fun little bike. I am not a bike guy whatsoever. But I work at a college, and I actually saw some kid riding the first generation of one of these and didn't even know what it was. Went up to it, took a couple pictures of it, and checked it out online and fell in love with it, and here it is. I ended up buying one. I bought this last September. I just hit 100 miles on it, so I don't ride it very much. Like I said, I'm not really a bike guy. But what I have done has made it a little bit more enjoyable. So I'll just kind of go over a couple things that I've done. I bought this little, I don't know what you'd want to call it, just a little visor. It's cleared. It is actually a Honda part, but it came from Taiwan. But it kind of covers up the gauge binnacle and protects it a little bit, and you can kind of see through right here. It's just dark color. It just gives a little bit of personality. And second, I've had these, I took off the big blinkers in the front and put on these little LED turn indicators. I think it kind of cleans it up a little bit. And then down here I saw this off of Revzilla, and that's the red stripe, and it's reflective. And being with the bike being red or white with red calipers, I thought that was just kind of a nice little touch to set off the black wheels. There you can see the back one as well, but it's very, very reflective. So I haven't ridden this at night. I have ridden when it's starting to get dark, and I've had actually a couple compliments of people saying of how much they reflect. In the back, I've removed and put this fender illuminator kit on. I think it really personally cleans up the rear end instead of having that big bulky fender hanging off. I haven't done anything with the turn signals back here. I don't know if I am. I kind of like it the way it is now. And then down here, what I've done is I've added these billet aluminum pegs. These are from Germany, actually. These suckers are really nice. They were kind of pricey for pegs, but it gives me a better feel. So, and this idea came from another guy on YouTube. I cannot think of his username, or I'd give him the credit. A lot of the stuff that I've done has come from him, and he's got a red Grom. I think his, it's something like Monterey guy or something. If I butchered the name, I apologize. But a lot of this stuff, he's got some good videos, and I've done a lot of his stuff, which has been great improvements. Now, one of the things that made a huge difference in the bike was these tires. Like I say, I just hit 100 miles, and I changed these a couple months ago. I didn't even have 100 miles on, and I went to the Michelin's. I was told when I first bought this bike and I was riding in my neighborhood, I would hit the cracks, not the horizontal cracks, but the inline cracks, and it would throw the bike all over. And being not a bike guy, I didn't know if that was normal or not. Well, I started watching some videos, and everybody was saying the same thing. Get rid of those crappy plastic tires. So I took the suggestions from that Monterey Bay guy, and this is what he put on, and he loves them. So I bought these, and you know what? That guy was correct. It had completely transformed the way this bike rides and handles. I feel very safe with it now. I can go over those same cracks, you don't even know it. Moving down to here, these are OTC billet aluminum chain adjusters with the spools. This way I can get the bike close to the wall. I don't have much garage space, and it's filled up. And that's a pit bull. Plus it really made it handy to pull the back wheel off, but I just like the way that I can store the bike. And I've added a Yoshi exhaust, and I've got the insert in. I was running it without the insert. I actually like the sound of it better. It quiets it down just a little bit, but it gives it a different sound, and I really like it. Moving along here, this is a Katako. Hopefully I didn't butcher the name. This actually has an oil filter in here and a sight glass. And what this does is it removes the slinger, the oil slinger, or the flinger, whatever they call it, that cleans the oil. Now, all you have to do is just remove this cover, and the filter comes right out. And then these two anodized fittings right here is for if I want to run an oil cooler, which I may do so, I don't know, in not too distant future. One of the things I did do, if I back up here, I did put on the lower fairing, and I think it really made the bike look great. Just a personal preference, because the way to me it looked like before without it, it kind of looked like a jet ski on wheels. Well, this way it kind of brings it down, makes it look like the Big Brothers, but that's what I did. I really like it. And another thing I did was, and you can't see, but I did change the brake pads. I was told it would be a good idea to change those out. I haven't noticed any difference, but like I say, I only have about 120 miles on the bike, but everybody is saying definitely change the hoses to some stainless braided, so I will be doing that in the near future as well. And then other than that, when I also changed out this Katako kit, I also changed out the oil pump. I mean, the oil pump is right there. I put a high flow oil pump in. It was recommended by a lot of people, and it wasn't a whole lot of money. And since the cover was off anyway, it was an easy swap. So that's what I did as well. Up here, I did change the mirrors. I didn't like the big round mirrors. I don't know if I like these. I'm kind of broad-shouldered, so my shoulder, I can barely see around me, so I need something that comes a little further out. But for now, I guess it's okay. Oh, and then one other thing, and this was from the Monterey Bay guy. He changed out the sprocket to a 14 tooth from the 15 tooth. Well, I did the exact same thing on his recommendation. And wow, what a difference. Not only does it pick it up, but now when I'm in a headwind, it won't bog down. I can stay right at red line. And of course you can't take these out on the interstate, but out on a rural highway, I can now run 55 miles an hour in a headwind. And I'm a big guy. I weigh about 238. Before, I'd get into a headwind and it would bog me down. I'd have to get into like a stoop position to build any speed. I mean, it would drop me down to, into the 48, 49. But now, I rode this the other day and I was in pretty good headwind, and I was right at 57, 58, and that was right at red line. I was very impressed. But what I can do here is I'll start up and let you listen the way it sounds. I have 131 miles on it now. Not a whole lot since last September. Oh, and then one other thing I did is, I don't know if you can see in here. Let me see if I can turn the wheel. Okay, here's the air box. I don't know, it's kind of dark in there, but what I ended up doing, I put a K&N filter in there, and then, I did the cheap trick where you remove the little baffle and that. But what I did is I followed the outline of the air box and I cut this open. So it's rather than having the ram air by a Chimera, which I wanted to do, but I was told that since I don't have something that the OBD2 or something that increases the fuel, that I could run a little lean. Well, this isn't ram air, but I mean, it really opens up the air box and lets it breathe a little bit better. And you can definitely hear it when you're getting on the throttle. So between the exhaust and the air intake, it sounds really good. So one of the things I'd like to do is I'd like to change out to the Olin front suspension, as well as the back. For one, I think the back looks really cool, and I know they're kind of pricey, but definitely front would be worth it just for the fact that these do bottom out really easy, so I have to be careful what I'm running over. The back, I don't know, I've never bottomed the back, just the front, but from what I've read and heard, it will make quite a bit of difference having the pair on there. So anyway, this is my version of my Grom. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little video. Maybe it can inspire some of you guys to do some of the things that I did. Like I say, I got a lot of my ideas from, and I'd have to look them up. It's Monterey Bay something, and hats off to you. I appreciate all the information that